It's Friday, and that means it's time for Friday Follies. And for that, we turn to Fox News contributor Raymond Arroyo. All right, Raymond, this has been a week of protests, and now the promise of more protests.
Laura, at Madame Tussauds in London, climate activists smashed a cake into the face of King Charles, or at least a waxwork of King Charles.
Time for words, and this is time for action. Ladies and gentlemen, stop! In the words of the king, the science is clear. The demands are simple. Just stop oil. It's a piece of cake.
Now his son Harry, Laura, is about to smash the king with a cake of a different sort. He's releasing a new memoir called Spare, an allegedly unsparing account of the Duke of Sussex's truth, my truth. What do you think of that title, Laura? Spare, that he would call the book Spare.
Well, so you have to supposed to have an heir and then a spare just to be safe, right? So that, I guess he was using that as kind of the play on being the
Laura,
spare heir.
Princess Anne is actually the spare, the sister of Prince Charles. She's the backup should anything happen at royal events and things. You have a spare tire and a spare key. I don't know if I'd call myself a spare as a royal. I think he's the spare royal discontent. But I want to also point out that in addition to looking like a video game avatar on the cover of his book, Harry's cover looks remarkably like a companion piece to Meghan Markle's Variety cover. I mean, look at them. It's kind of the sun-kissed look. And what's most curious is that his ghostwriter is the same one Andre Agassi recruited for his single-word book, Open. And he got the same full-face treatment. So seems like we're repeating the trend here, but it's a trend of celebrity rather than royalty.
I think it would have been better if it was just called Whipped, because he looks like he's kind of... The poor guy is always in the shadow of his wife. Not that there's anything wrong with that, apparently, anymore.
Or he could have called it Lady in Waiting, Laura, and had him right behind Markle in the
He could have, no, he should have been peeking out under one of her beautiful ball gowns, just like peeking out. That would have been a good one, too. All right, there was another protest, though, at The Hague, Raymond, this week. Another climate idiot glued himself to Vermeer's Girl with a Pearl Earring. Then an accomplice poured soup on his head.
Laura, maybe next time they can glue themselves to a soup can while an artist paints their faces. This is getting absurd. These people should be jailed or fined for destroying or endangering works of global importance. I mean, I don't know how they get away with this. And it happens almost every week and multiple times this week.
Well, don't forget that. Tell that to our friends over on CNN.
That's getting a lot of attention in terms of defacing artwork and what that means and that overall conversation. Well, what's more important to you, this art or the long-term, sustainability of our planet?
Well, art and sustainability are not at odds. This is not an either-or where you have to destroy art to save the planet. Art should bring people together, and they're using it and its destruction for a divisive purpose. We all should be unified in condemning this. I'm sorry. Everybody should.
I mean, by her logic, anything can be destroyed if the theme behind the destruction is saving the planet. So that means any person, frankly, because there's one person. Is one person's life, in any way as important as saving the planet? No. So it's a very utilitarian approach to things, Raymond.
Well, I can't wait to see ISIS booked on that CNN show.
Yeah.
From the misuse of paintings to the misuse of song, Laura, this is a climate group called Extinction Rebellion, but they may as well call themselves Music Rebellion.
Fossil fuels, save money with renewables. Leaders should be ready to stop the climate, so we stay alive, stay alive. Cutting down carbon to stop nobody shopping, so we stay alive, stay alive.
Oh my
Laura,
God.
if you're going to do a flash mob, pick a song from this century and make sure you know the choreography. Look how they're kind of tentative. They don't quite know when to lift the leg. It's very sad. The song The Extinction Rebellion should have built a flash mob around. Looking at this group is this one.
We're a couple of misfits. We're a couple of misfits. What's the matter? Yes, that's where we fit in.
Laura, the man who wrote that song and produced so many of these iconic Christmas specials, Jules Bass, died this week at 87. And I knew he had directed and produced everything from that great 1964 Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to the classic 1969 Frosty the Snowman. What I did not know is that he also wrote the lyrics for so many of these beloved songs. Put one foot in front of the other. I'm Mr. Snow Miser. Whatever I touch turns to cold in my clutch. And We Are Santa's Elves. All these great moments. These beloved touchstones, I think, of our childhood. Mr. Jules Bass was responsible for a lot of it.
Well, he died at 87, and Jerry Lee Lewis, of course, passed away at 87. Two icons in American culture and music.
Laura, before we go, I can't let this pass. The Ingraham is celebrating 5 years on air this weekend. And anyone who's been a longtime fan of this show knows that while you had one thing going, almost every episode, this happened in the early years of this show.
Kennedy, let me just say, my earrings are falling off. I'm laughing so hard to hear that whole nationalism thing. Oh, my earring fell. Isn't that fun? We're just learning about this in the Wall Street Journal. A federal delegation. My earring just fell off.
And then last week, he sent me and Secretary Pompeo.
I apologize, guys. This is like a running joke for this. Just people in offices, you don't know what they're doing. My earring fell off. I was so excited about that topic.
Laura, now I want to congratulate you because that hasn't happened a single time in 2022. But now we're moved on from losing earrings to, well, we're losing other things.
She should be removed from office just for that. And with that, my little earpiece fell out. But go ahead, I'm listening.
That was on Monday. What's with your ears, Ingram? Are they just open channels that things don't cling to in any way? What's happening?
Raymond, first of all, happy anniversary, because you've been instrumental to the show. Tommy, Samantha, everyone, David Cass. I can't say everyone, Elisa, Jess, I can't say everyone's name, but it's been an awesome, awesome 5 years. I hope many more, but we've had a lot of fun. The show behind the show is the next show.
We're doing a reality show on that later.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Back at you. It's a big team effort here, Raymond. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.